Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my Greninja break deck. These are very popular decks. I just so happened to start playing with the Greninja deck recently. They did do pretty good this year, so this year in Nationals you'll probably be seeing a lot of these decks. And I'm going to be showing you my profile. We've gotten to a lot of leagues already, and I've done pretty well. So far, I haven't really lost at this deck yet. So I think it's pretty good, and I'll explain to you exactly why or how I run it. Alright, we're going to start off with the Froakie line, or the Greninja line. Basically, these are your main attackers, or your main Pokemon in this deck. I run 4 Froakies. They're all the same. They're the 60 HP with the bubble attack. This one just happens to be a promo. And some people run 3. I like to run 4. The main reason why is because you do get a lot of mulligans in this deck. So the actual Froakie's never really hurt all that much. Although Froakie's not really the main Pokemon you really want to be focusing on. You do want to actually run the 4 Frogadiers, and you want the ones with water duplicates. These are essential to the deck. You want 4 because water duplicates lets you bring out 3 other Frogadiers from your deck to the bench when you use this attack. So as you know, Break Greninja is a 4-stage, it's a 3-stage evolution. So that will save you a lot of time in regards to evolving and stuff like that. And then I run 4 Greninjas. We got the older Greninja. This happens to be a promo that I got. And then you want to run 4 of the Breakpoint Shadow Stitch, Moonlight / Ninja. These are just more useful. Free retreat costs, 1 water energy attack, and or shadow stitching for like a Hex Mania. And then this one is just kind of like for support or extra damage. It's usually mostly to stay in your bench. Most of the time just to use a water shuriken. Every now and then you can play it out for the Mist Slash. It does 50 unaffected by weaknesses and resistance. So I used to run 2 and 2, but now I run 3 and 1, and I find that it is a lot more useful because you don't really use the one with the regular water shuriken too much. And then for the breaks, I run 3 breaks. 3 is basically all you need. This is the card that's going to be doing a lot of damage before you attack. Giant Water Shuriken, most people know what it does. Discard a water energy, do 60 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon. It can be bench or active Pokemon. Very useful. So those are the break. And I run 2 Shamans in this deck. Most people run 2 Octilleries with the Remoraid's. But on my end, I actually don't have an Octillery right now. I have one ordered online. Haven't received it yet. But I find that Shaman is pretty useful no matter what. Again, this is a very expensive card. Shamans run about $50 to $60 nowadays if you're going to buy them online. So it's not too budget friendly, but in regards to competitive play, you'll definitely consider Shaman. Also, Shaman's just a lot easier. You can just play them right away. In regards to Octillery, you got to evolve it, and it takes some time, obviously. It is an EX, though, so that's the only downfall, but Sky Return's a pretty good attack. If you get 2 water energy on them, you can just bring them back, and or you can always run AZ as well. And then my last Pokemon, I just run one of the promo Jirachis with the Stardust on it. I've done a lot of research, and I really find that this card is very useful. It's very universal. A lot of decks run special energy, and Stardust, if you discard that special energy, it's basically immortal. The next turn, it can't get affected by Pokemon attacks. It can't receive any damage. So it's kind of like a staller, and the retreat cost is the only downfall. It is 1 retreat cost. But that's fine. It's more of like a staller, so you can set up your Greninjas So that is the Pokemon line. We do have 18 Pokemon altogether. And then we're going to start with the items. Pretty mandatory in most competitive decks. 4 trainers mail. And yes, this one is the secret rare. I had no other trainers mail, so I had to use the secret rare one, which is fine. Pretty standard as well for VS Seekers. Like most people you will hear, they're all staples in all decks. And in this deck, we want to run the 4 dive balls. Obviously, majority of your Pokemon are water. So dive balls are absolutely useful. More items. I run 2 muscle bands just for that extra attack. A lot of people like to run float zones and stuff like that, or bursting balloons, but I figure that muscle bands are just a little bit more universal, and you know, we run a lot of evolution Pokemon, so fighting Fairy Belt won't really, you know, you can't use that in this deck. So we'll just run the 2 muscle band for the extra damage. If you really think about it, Moonlight Slash Greninja with the muscle band, and if you take back the water energy, that does 100 damage for 1 water energy. Pretty useful muscle band. And then we also run 2 Rough Seas. Basically, the Rough Seas is really one of the only other good stadiums for water decks. Just heal 30 damage every round when it's your turn. It's also good for lightning decks as well, so as long as you're not playing a lightning deck, it's pretty useful. So I'll set those to the side. And then the items that I run just 1 copy each up. We'll start out with the Max Potion here. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy. Thing about Greninja Break or Greninja with the Moonlight Slash is that you'll be getting the water energy back in your hand most of the time, and then you can just heal them off next round. So pretty useful card. You don't want to run too many because obviously you have the Rough Seas to kind of heal your Greninjas, but you'll just never know when you need it. So Max Potion is come in handy every now and then. I run the Evo Soda instead of the Rare Candy. I find that a lot of times you set up your Frogadiers and you're missing another Greninja. So next round you could play the Evo Soda to get it up. However, like I said, most of the time you want to get the Frogadier set up, so you won't be wanting to run the Rare Candy with the Froakie to the Greninja. The Evo Soda is just, evolve any Pokemon. So if I had a Greninja, I could just evolve to a Break. If I had a Frogadier, I could just evolve it to a Greninja. I run 1 Super Rod. Basically, you just put 3 combination Pokemon basic energy into your deck. You can put your Greninjas, your Frogadiers, and as well as your water energy. It's a good combination with Professor's Letter if you could just Super Rod the energies into your deck, and then Professor's Letter, get 2 of them out, start using Water Shurikens. 1 Ultra Ball. And the reason why I run the Ultra Ball is because we play Shaman in this deck. Sometimes you'll have a bunch of extra Froakies that you don't really need. You just discard with the Ultra Ball, get the Shamans out for the draw 6. 1 Energy Retrieval. Obviously you'll be discarding a lot of water energy to get the Water Shurikens off. And then Town Maps, just because I find that a lot of times your energies and or your Shamans or your Die Balls will be in the prizes. So if you can use the Town Map, why not? It will save you a lot of time, obviously, because if you prize water energy, we don't run that many water energies, so Town Map is good. And for supporters, we run 3 Sycamores. Pretty standard. A lot of people run a lot of Sycamore, probably one of the best supporters right now. And then we run 2 Wallies. Pretty simple. We evolve a lot of our Greninjas and Frogadiers a lot, and or Froakies. So 2 Wallies are pretty good. We run 2 Fishermans. Once you get into towards the end of the game, you'll be discarding a lot of water energy to do the Water Shuriken. And then the other supporters, I run one AZ for the Shamans or for the Greninjas. Usually I just run these for the Shaman. I find that, with the deck you really need AZ because you don't run any double colorless energy to use Sky Attack. One Lysander, pretty mandatory in every deck, just to switch out Pokemon from your opponent's side, stuff like that. I run one N, in his back. Some people like to run two, but I just run one. And the reason why is because I run one Ace Trainer. I find out that nowadays with Frogadier, if once you use water duplicates, that's an attack. Frogadier only has 70 HP, so he's most likely to get knocked out next round. So Ace Trainer is really good in situations like that. Most of the time, your Frogies and your Frogadiers and Greninjas and your Froakies will get knocked out right away. So you'll most likely be falling behind a little bit, but don't worry, you'll catch up. And that's why I use Ace Trainer. And then for the energies, pretty simple. You run 8 water energies. So you don't run that much energy. They're just the basic energies. You don't want to run any special energy because, obviously you don't want to get enhanced hammered, or, a lot of people run the Jirachi now. And plus, it only takes 1 water energy anyways. The splash energy doesn't make that big of a difference because you do have Super Rod to get them back to your deck, and then Dive Ball and all that stuff. So I suggest you all to try it out and then see what you guys think. Like I said, I've had some pretty good luck with this deck so far. Haven't really been into any major league tournaments yet, but so far doing a lot of research on other people's deck, this is what I've come up with. And like I said, I win 90% of the battles with this deck. The only problem about this deck is that if you go against Sceptile, EXs, obviously we have a weakness to grass. That's the only problem I would see. So you kind of have to work your way around that. But otherwise, it's a pretty consistent deck, pretty popular deck. Really fun with the water shurikens to snipe off the benches and stuff like that. So try it out, let me know, and then let me know if I can do any improvements on this deck.